Hey, what's new? What's going on? What's on the table? What are we talking about? What's happening? Welcome. Hey, so this is what I'm reading right now. I hope everybody's doing good. I guess this is just some sort of impromptu update video about what I've been up to and about what I'm reading. And if I have any new toys on the table, maybe I'll grab those and throw them in front of the camera. I hope everybody's doing well. Doing pretty good. Let's see. Yesterday, I did a long live stream over there with Gratu Orloff and some of the four color fossils. It was like 5 hours plus, and I had a great time. Boy, I was just jabbering away and listening to some great talk, some great live stream podcasting action, whatever you want to call it, over there on Gratu Orloff channel here on YouTube. If you're interested in watching that, I would advise you to go check it out. And we just talk about all the stuff that we're into. So let's see what I'm reading right now. So first of all, you know, I'm all over the place. I'm constantly wandering and wondering about what I'm going to read next or what I feel like reading. So I'm often reading three or four things at the same time. More like three. I like to read three things at once. And when I read those three things at once, I like them to be starkly contrasting if possible. Like I like to read, a mixture of stuff. I like to read regular books. I don't always keep up with regular books. I still just read the same regular books that I've had for years, and sometimes I read the same ones more than once. And Kurt Vonnegut, Cat's Cradle, is an example of that. Right now, I'm reading this book, and I don't even know how many times I have read this book. It's probably between 5 and 10 different times that I have read this book throughout my life. I recently purchased a copy of this book for my son and sent it to him because I knew he hadn't read it yet. And also, I don't think he's read any Vonnegut yet, and so I thought it would be a good time and this is a pretty good first Vonnegut to read. I read this book first or second. I think I might have read. I think I read this first, and then I read not Breakfast of Champions. This is all the Vonnegut books, and I've read every book on here except for Dead-Eyed Dick and Palm Sunday. I've read them all at least once or twice. So Cat's Cradle. This is a book about mid 20th century life, politics, humanity, being an American. It's about that too. It's about the end of the world. It's about like technological destruction. Let's see what this is. I'm using this card. Is that Jim Starlin art? I'm using this card as a bookmark. Now I do the same thing. I just randomly grab cards or pieces of paper out of different things throughout the house to use as random bookmarks. I seldom use the same thing twice as a bookmark. But I like to read books mixed in with comics and magazines all together. So I'll read a chapter or two of each thing I'm reading every day or so, right? Did I say what this book is about? This book is about, I guess, the end of civilization and the beginning of civilization and just human life, I guess. I don't know, man. It's hard to explain what Cat's Cradle is about. That's kind of it. So it's an unusual book in that this book is kind of famous for having chapters that are like a paragraph long. Are you seeing this? Now, this is not just a thing that is isolated with Cat's Cradle. He did this with other books as well, where these chapters you'll see are a page, maybe not even an entire page long. I don't know if I recommend this to everybody. This this isn't Vonnegut's best book in my opinion. It's not my favorite. It's probably not even my third favorite, but it's necessary. And I don't know. It's not for everybody, I don't think. This is the comic that I'm currently reading right now, or one of the comics I'm currently reading right now. I picked this up. It's really thick. It's like 625 pages long, and it is the compilation of the early 90s Batman Nightfall what would event. Is that what you would call this? Was this they called them, was this an event? I missed this event when it was happening in real time. I was not, reading comics from month to month at that point in my life, and I had other interests and other focuses, and so comics was left behind. Just like the DC reprint team apparently left the idea of a table of contents behind. Also, I want to point this out to you. That's pretty funny. So first of all, this book is, as I told you, it's really big, and it's this entire, and this is just the first one. I think there's 2 or 3 volumes. So it's the entire event of Nightfall that spanned maybe a couple of years. I don't even know, but it was so there's like, it jumps from a issue of Batman to Detective Comics to like specials. Like this is the first part that I read that I really enjoyed. This Vengeance of Bane. It's good. I recommend it. Where was I? So there's no table of contents, and in addition, I think this is kind of funny. Look at how whoever did this. I mean, what is going on, you guys? Okay, look. I just want you to look at this page. Are you seeing what I'm pointing out to you? You see the headings? See what it says, writers? Those aren't the writers. The writers are actually the names above where it says writers. I hope I'm not yelling into this microphone. I just realized I'm freaking yelling. So, isn't this weird? What is going on, you guys? It's like, is this idiocracy? Is this the hospital sign being too long for the width of the building, so they just hang the letters down the side of the building like in Idiocracy? That's what this is. Look, somebody who did this, whoever typeset this on the computer, really messed it up. Okay, it says Batman. It says Volume 1. Then it says Doug Monk, Chuck Dixon, and Alan Grant. Then there's a space. And it says writers. Then you got Jim Aparo, Norm Breyfogle, Graham Nolan, etc. All these writers, aren't they? No, those aren't writers. Those are the pencilers. Those are the artists. The writers are the guys above the word writers. Look at what they did. Look at how they did it. Look at it says inkers, and there's Adrian Roy and Klaus Johnson. That's weird, isn't it? Colorists. Letterers. Look at the cover artist, looks like a letterer. Letterers, Kelly Jones. Wow, he did all the lettering? So, yeah, man, something's going on. But, I mean, I guess we already know what's going on. I think this is pretty much over. That'd be this business or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? They don't care about this. They don't care that somebody did this. They don't care that this looks like this. They don't care that this book doesn't have any table of contents, that it just goes. And honestly, the quality that so far, like how far am I in here? I'm 100 pages in. I'm enjoying this title a lot. So I don't really care. I don't care about the stuff that I just mentioned in reality, whatever. But this would have never happened in 1978, let me tell you that much. So anyway, this is how far I'm in. This art is pretty good. This is my bookmark in here is Sabretooth versus Wolverine. Some sort of promotional card, maybe? Or is this an actual card from this series? I don't know. I don't remember where it came from. I like the art in here. I mean, that's the reason why I bought this book, was because of Graham Nolan, and I was curious about it all. I wanted to find out. I wanted to read this first. I wanted to read this right here without spending a stupid amount of money just for one old comic book, just so I could read it. So I bought this compilation that has all this stuff in it. And this right here, I really enjoyed this Vengeance of Bane story. I just read this, I don't know, like 3 or 4 days ago, and I really liked it. It was good, and I really like Graham Nolan's artwork. So I'm reading this right now as well. And then I'm also reading Bone. So Bone was something that was, I remember seeing, back when it came out, and I remember it being popular. Graphic Man recommended it to me, and I knew that people liked it. That it had worth and quality. As you can see, it's become a Scholastic book. The Jeff Smith signed a deal with Scholastic apparently, which is interesting. That makes me happy, having read like this. Only about halfway into this. It's nice to know that maybe teachers are using this in school and having kids read comics in class. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? So here's how far I am into that one. So this is the first, number one. The first, there it is. Bone, Out from Boneville. So this is an adventure fantasy story about these little creatures called bones. I understand the original was in black and white, but this edition is a bit colored, and I like the color. It's humorous. It reminds me of Walt Kelly, maybe like Pogo or some sort of Disney comic, except it has a really fun adventure going on. Now, I haven't completed it. I'm a little over halfway done, I think, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm definitely going to buy the next one. And it looks like I have a Mod mail truck card in here. This is what I'm using as bookmark, and this came with this model. I had this model, and I built this model when I was a kid. I don't have the model anymore, but I have the card. Look at that. See the unicycle on that left-hand driver's side right there? Isn't that cool? With the red, white, and blue seat and everything. I never was able to ride a unicycle. I can't remember even trying, but there were kids, usually these teenagers, and always one in every neighborhood in the 70s, that rode around on unicycles. We had one. Way Out Wheels. Mod mail truck. Look at all these cool cars. George Barris, 1970. All right. So Bone. I'm liking it, you guys. This is good. It's I like it. What's new? This is new. This just got here today. This is a new Guandanaland book that I picked up. It's the complete Super Circus. Looks really good. Look at that clown. Look at these guys down. Look at these clowns. There's Mary Hartline. There's Cliffy, Scampy. Look, Claude Kirchner himself. But this is what we're really interested in. There she is, Mary Hartline. So this show, I've talked about this before. I think I even made a video a long time ago about some of my circus figures and circus collection. So Mark's Toys made a line of a play set and some figures based on this television show in the early and mid 1950s called Super Circus. This was a popular TV show for kids and adults. As I mentioned, Mark's Toys produced figures and a play set, and I have some of them. Maybe eventually I'll put it all together and I'll show it to you guys. I don't have everything, but I have a good portion of it all, and even my own additional circus stuff that I've collected over, to to spruce it up. I don't even know why I'm into the circus. I like the creepy aspect of it. I like the old, I don't know, the nostalgia of it. I only went to the circus a couple times when I was a kid. I went to Circus Vargas in San Jose. It was a big deal, Circus Vargas. They would advertise it on TV after school, like during those cartoon shows after school. At the same time that they would advertise that the Harlem Globetrotters were coming to town, they would advertise Circus Vargas. So the idea was to get the kid to run into his mom or his dad and say, "Mom or Dad, please, I want to go to Circus Vargas and the Harlem Globetrotters and Disney on Ice." It was like that. So I went to the circus and Circus Vargas. We went, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was cool. Um, but everything was pretty far away. I remember that. I remember that we were like kind of far away from everything, and I wanted to be closer, like it was in the movies or on TV when they were at the circus. And I went to the circus at a different time at where was it? At, I think Hangtown or Placerville Fairgrounds in El Dorado County. After that, like a few years later, after Circus Vargas, I went to the circus up there in the Sierra Nevada foothills near Lake Tahoe, and it was a cool, like little circus, like where you were closer. It was like a smaller, like more old school circus, like what we're looking at in this book, as opposed to Circus Vargas, which was like this overproduced big spectacle. It was really fun and cool, but it wasn't. Anyway, I'm just rambling about circuses, aren't I? Hope you guys think that this stuff looks cool. If not, maybe you just think that I'm just plain weird. But I think it looks cool. I enjoy weird circus type stuff. I even like those old circus movies, like the one with Charlton Heston. I can't remember the title of it, but I remember liking that one. Charlton Heston was the, the manager of the circus, and I feel like James Stewart was a clown. And this circus movie, I can't even think of the title. You know, you guys you'll know what I'm talking about if you're old like me or older. But it had all those circus tropes in it. Like the clown that was Jimmy Stewart was like some sort of an escaped convict, or he was like on the run from the police, and so that's why he was a clown. Anyway, you get it. Other new stuff. Is there any new stuff on the table? New toys that you have, Meyer, that you would like to show everybody? I think I mentioned before that I've been buying. I just talked to myself in third person like a real weirdo. I've been buying HeMan and the Masters of the Universe toys. I like these new ones that they came out with. I usually buy them because they're on sale. That's the only reason, other than my son was into it, and I saw that he's buying them, and I was influenced by the price and how cool they are. So this one just came in also today. I got this today for cheap, for like $10, and whatever, man. I quit expensive habits, and I replaced expensive habits with an inexpensive habit, which is like, toys. It's not that expensive by comparison to the old habits. So this is the Sorceress. This is a really nice figure. I like the quality and the feel of the plastic. This is called the HeMan and the Masters of the Universe Origins line, where these are new figures that are being made new that have better articulation. They're made of a better quality plastic, but they're made in the same kind of form and style and design of the original figures. And the packaging art is really great, as I just showed you. And it's really, really fun and cool packaging. And then you get the cross promotional, and I have all these figures, you guys. That's how bad I am. I'm pretty bad when it comes to this addictive personality. So so I've got all of these now. These were the ones for 2022, and it's the end of the year, and they're all going on sale, and that's why I have them all at this point. There you go. So what else? What else do you have, or do I have, or does he have, that's on the table that's new? Well, here's another one. This is annoying the way I'm talking to you guys right now. This is another HeMan figure. This is a different line, also somewhat new. It's like the one we just looked at. This is from the HeMan Master of the Universe, the Masterverse line. And this is the new Eternia HeMan. And this is a really fun toy line. So this is a step up. So this is a HeMan that is made with the quality of and the size in like a 7 or a 6-inch scale of the new action figures, right? He comes with all of this articulation, multiple weapons. He almost looks like a generic barbarian. You could just look past the fact that this is a HeMan figure, and this could be like the coolest Dungeons and Dragons barbarian figure that you ever came across for $14. It's pretty cool, right? The articulation and posability is great. He comes with exchangeable hands, so you can make him have two fists so he can be just punching, or you can make him have another holding hand so he can hold the weapon holding hand so he can hold the sword that's on his back. Comes with a interchangeable head sculpt, so you can take that head off and put this head on if you want. Just pop it right off and pop the other one right on. And yeah, so this is a fun toy line, and I'm collecting these as well. Just the ones, just like the other one that I just showed you. Just the ones that are on sale, to be honest. I mean, I might have that addiction type personality with buying stuff all the time or wanting to buy stuff, but I'm not necessarily a super duper completionist. Like I'm not like I don't have to have every single part of a line or a collection or whatever, or especially if certain pieces or parts of this line or collection are more expensive than the others. I'll just live without it. Um, I'm one of those guys. I can eat ramen like 3 times a week. It's kind of, I don't know. It's not necessary. I don't know. Whatever. You get it. Who's this? This is Thor. What's going on? This is a great Thor figure. So this is a really cool Thor figure. Um, Especially for the price when it first came out. It's so big I can't even fit it into the camera. So we'll just look at it bit by bit. This is a 1/6 or 12-inch scale figure that came out quite a while ago, maybe about 5 or 6 years. I can't remember exactly. The price point for the figure at the time seemed perfect because it was fairly inexpensive. But now, if you want to buy this figure, uh, they're all sold out, obviously, so you're kind of buying it like on the secondary market, and the price is doubled, and it's just kind of stupid. I wouldn't want to spend as much as they're asking for it, but I didn't mind spending the original price. So this is from the Hasbro Marvel Legends, the Giant Marvel Legends line, or whatever. I can't remember what it's called. Deluxe. Came with a bunch of stuff. I just have them out here on the table. Really good articulation. This really nice soft goods cape. Like I said, this was like a $40 figure when it first came out, but now it's over $100. It's kind of stupid in my opinion. So I'm just hoping that the people that are watching the video already have him, which is not true, because you're like, that's the worst part of doing this sometimes, is that some of the stuff that I'll show you guys and that I do show you guys, if you're really interested in it and you really wanted to find it, at this point, it's gotten kind of expensive and stupid. I wish I could have showed it to you when it was cheap and you could have gone and bought one for yourself. And sometimes that will happen. Like I just showed you those HeMan figures, and maybe those interested you, and you're going to go over to Gum and order them. I call Amazon Gum, GUM. After that, remember that 3CP supermarket or superstore from the 70s and 80s that we learned about in high school in political science. I learned about it, I think. Anyway, Soviets had this store called Gum that had everything. And they basically took, it was government utility mercantile, I think, or something like that, or market. I don't know. I can't remember. Something like that. And there's no need for any other businesses. The government can sell you everything. And so that's why I call Amazon Gum. Let's see, we got one more. I think we'll look at just one more figure that's sitting on the table here. Let's look at this. Ooh, who's this? Okay. So this is my, I guess, Toshiro Mifune figure. I think that's who this is supposed to be, even though it doesn't say on the packaging and it's all written in Japanese. But I think that this is supposed to be Toshiro Mifune, and he has this amazing all metal, real metal samurai. See it? That is detailed to look like it's made of folded steel, like an actual samurai. Maybe that we can look at him a little bit better. The detail of the head sculpt and the paint. Pretty cool. I like that. Like that get up. Dig that wild get up, huh? The V shape. That's sick. All those pleats. Just looks like a lot of work ironing all those pleats, but you know, that's what a geisha is for. All right, guys. I think that's it. This went long, 25 minutes long. Hope you enjoyed it. We just talked about new stuff, right? What did we talk about? What's new and what I'm reading and what was on the table. New figures, new books, new comics, what I read and why I read it, and the DC editorial staff coming up really short and like hiring people that are worse than interns, hiring people to work for their companies that know nothing about the properties that the companies are even based upon, like don't care about the properties that the company is you know, you feel me. I'm doing my curmudgeon bit. So yeah. Yeah, that's what you should take home from this video is that nobody cares at DC. They don't really care. They don't. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I will talk to you later.